They're called Jehovah's Witnesses for the same reason. It's called the messenger of Allah. It's sarcastic. They're spitting in our faces. And they'll say, well, you have this son of God. And yeah, that happened once. That's the whole point. It's special. That it's not free for all. America's supposed to be a melting pot, not a flash fire. Religion is a search for universal and eternal truth. You can't tell, for instance, the Central Intelligence Agency not to waterboard. That's like telling, it's like walking up to Vladimir Putin and saying, give me your AK 47. It's a primary weapon in their information gathering arsenal, and it's protected by multiple major world traditions. And Harvard has the Saudis freely enrolling themselves through a backdoor in their lens engineering lab. You're not going to tell me that you didn't cancel waterboarding so you could sell more cameras to humanity's greatest natural enemies. Now, I traced. See, my name is Dr. Noel D. Smith. Single, straight, no kids, never married, no abortions, no abominations, no divorces, no bankruptcies. Formerly decorated so-and-so with the yada yada, airframe, triage, theology, international pharmaceutical industrial sabotage. Religion is intended to withstand the test of time. It's supposed to last forever. It's not, the object is not to get fried by the first nomad you see. Your religion is horseshit. That's why you don't want to go to trial, and you're messing with me with all this tertiary bullshit. Somebody came around, stirred up a bunch of trouble. Fleeing's an admission of guilt. And I go and look into, what's really, like, if there's any truth to it, the lawyer want to act funny. I better go look into it myself. Come back, all hell had broken loose. I said, the wicked flee when none pursueth. Okay? Full stop. The righteous are bold as lions. I didn't know what was going on. Confusion and even fear are perfectly natural response to such abnormal bullshit stimuli. They had some narc that had been shadowing me from New Jersey to California, come to Florida, and even brought Joey Greco in on it. Supposed to be his turf, right? His racket. I've never been married. Okay, that's why I say it twice in my introduction. I could never support a family because I got crippled early a couple times, run off from my chosen occupation, false pretenses. I got homos at the table, doubling down and taking the first goddamn dive because it's a bankruptcy for profit healthcare model. And I got wizards. And you try to be respectful. I don't mess with producers. But if anybody is stoking the flames until they get some kind of a justification, it's going to be the producer telling you I'm trying to report something worth more than your whole goddamn outfit, pretend to be the CIA, send an Uber to the wrong exfil. So what'd you tell the Saudis? I sold the one great love of my life for a 20 bag? They raped her the minute I left town, 14 years old. Some faggot tells my first love I cheated on her after our first date. It's called the gay mafia. The church does not acknowledge the existence of a gay mafia. Mafia means family, and the Lord will not bless an unholy union with new life ex nihilo. LGBTQ, they're coming for everybody, Washington. This is what I do. I wake up in the morning and I spit trillions. I wake up seething with anger. Doctor says you dwell in the past. The past is still the present until the soil is consecrated, lady. Talking about forgiveness in a desecrated sanctuary. You wouldn't know a religion if the risen Messiah jumped out and bit all our asses off. I didn't know why I got sick the way I did for as long as I did. The doctor said it was a psychological problem. I spent my first year of football studying mythology. I missed my first year of football. Freshman year, make first string at the end of the season. Sophomore summer, I get nerve gassed. Doctor says it's mono because I cheated on my girlfriend. Benghazi, Libya, 2012. A doctor stated, on condition of anonymity, nothing to do with a closed-circuit TV security system off-site with the ISIS observing our movements. Private security firm, because corporate works so much better than any kind of government. It starts with the Canadians, okay? I come from the Jackson clan, and they picked out a spotted one, and they just follow you around picking bigger and bigger fights. That's why these criminal organizations get bigger and bigger. They lead people by the hand into some kind of a setup where they end up spending years of the most important part of their life indignantly indoctrinating to this unnatural, godless scenario. They're trying to give back the money they steal in deep discounts, and they spammed the post office so hard we ended up with a computer in every office of government, and all of a sudden the FBI is psychoanalyzing people, and they canceled IQ testing. It's like a perfect storm. Calling people a hacker, Washington's like, okay, not a hacker. So what they did was they anticipated flipping or turning me, take Mogadishu out of the equation, and then, you know, pretending to negotiate would have made more sense. But there's a religious assertion at play, and what's the point of bringing that poor sap all the way over here from 1992 to 2016 just to watch his family pay the ultimate price and then flee the country, and you idiots prove it, and, you know, call the FBI. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to the working man. I've never seen them do wrong in real, you know, myself with mine own eye, trying to look into like why mysterious deaths and stuff, and give them my name, they go in the back room and giggle. But one of your assets punched his ticket, come out, fold their arms, go back another time, they're frisking me and stuff. It's like, what's a boy to do? Now I'm trying to contact Washington. I've written it to Princeton, Yale, the U.S. Mint. I ordered something from the Vatican. I don't know what level of communist you got to be to rip off the U.S. Mint, but you got to be the world's biggest homo to slice open somebody's mail from the Vatican gift shop without a warrant. Are you outnumbered? What is your problem? America not only thinks that democratic community provides for a bunch of carpetbagging, they take the old smoke and mirrors to such an extent that they will sell science, sell some kind of result that somebody probably stole from one of our firms, and then make it work so nobody has to investigate. First off, whatever the United Nations paid for that service, the corporation will pivot. I call it the theory of lucrativity. You have to give our backers a viable exit strategy. Somebody took the cure for cancer from the Scottish, sold it to China. North Korea built a big statue in the middle of Central Africa. There's Nigerians ministering to the Mexicans in the Catholic Church. I wouldn't be that concerned if people didn't think they had some sort of excuse for this behavior. I can't prove it's the, like, whatever, wherever he's from, Muslim doctors leaning on my mom to tamper with my food, but after she took the machine back, a piece of it ended up in my meatloaf. Can I prove it? I know. You're not just gonna play God with me. Protect me from my own family. Yeah, born that way. This one has to be born that way. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're gay, obviously. It just means somebody sold something expensive and now they don't want to give none of it back. Communism. I would have married a Chinese girl in junior high for my country, called betrothal. You know, unlike certain parties with a betrothal, you don't let a 23-year-old dip the pen in company ink before she turns 18, before they're married, let alone before she turns 18. But it's got to be, this one sold the cocaine, so we connected to defense. Well, I can't wait to meet the lawyer protecting the Navy SEALs from me. He's got to be enormous. There's a couple of minimal fixes at my blog, Victory Conditions for State, mfrodeo.blogspot.com. My firstest rodeo. I thought you'd be more excited.